Hello everybody, a certain reviewer is back from his almost a week hiatus. Now understand I did have to do finals this week, so yeah, I had to study and focus on that, so I apologize for not making anything, because, you know, finals life interfered. But yeah, this is chapter 2, part 1. There's a whole lot of stuff that happens in this freaking volume, so, or this chapter, or chapter 2 at least. So this will be split up into 2 parts, focusing on what's happened and all that stuff on each part, I guess. So, yeah, let's get this started. Okay, so we start off with basically Toma, like, in the cafeteria of the school, and him and Kamisato kind of have this funny thing where they're discussing what to put on, like, the rice, so, like, a poor man's meal, and Toma's like, you have no right to choose this meal for a poor student like me, quit copying me, and all this stuff. And it's like we go through this funny thing where it's like, I put mayonnaise on my rice, put all this stuff, and all that. Personally, I found it kind of funny. It was comical, in the very least. And most of it was kind of spent around focusing, like, Toma helping out with the school, in the school, and just kind of wandering around. I don't want to say wandering around, because it was just kind of him helping, basically. They just kind of talk between Akiyame, whatever her freaking name is, and Jumpy Bunny, and all that stuff. And so I'll be skipping most of that. Sorry if you got problems with that. I'll be skipping most of it, because, you know, most of it's just kind of just funny, silliness, all that stuff. Nothing to really mention, but yeah. And we continue, and we kind of skip all that, because it's mainly just exposition, talking, and funny silliness, and Toma and Kamacho just kind of cussing at each other, saying, you comparing me to this bastard. but yeah. Anyway, continuing, we actually get to see Hamazura in this, you know, a little tiny segment of Hamazura being Hamazura, I guess, in which we see Salome kind of going up to Hamazura with, like, a pizza cutter in her mouth, kind of, I don't know if she's chewing on it, per se, but, you know, she has her bag with her and everything, and we basically get this thing where this happens a lot, honestly, and it's like she's kind of just saying the stuff we already know and what Hamazura went through, and he kind of just says, like, I already know that because I'm Hamazura, you know, and like, his whole speech is basically, I'm Hamazura, but you can't tell me that because I'm Hamazura. Did you know I'm Hamazura? Yeah, I knew that. And it's like, it's basically that. It's just, you know, I don't care about Hamazura, so honestly, if someone says, oh, that's not what he said in the novel, I don't care. so don't even bother saying that. Anything, really. But, yeah. So, and then she just kind of goes in this thing where, basically, Hamazura and Tagisoba are there to kind of get rid of their item account or transfer money to their own, I don't know. And it's basically just kind of, I don't know, I mean, I guess it was kind of shows you how far Hamazura's come in this series, but again, I don't care, so yeah. And then she kind of licks the pizza cutter and kind of messes with the vault door, or she messes with the vault door, I forget which, but I think she licked it, and then the vault door kind of just busted open, I guess, and that's it. And if it's one thing that this volume really just kind of stresses, it's like, where's Tsukimikado? Where's Tsukimikado? Because Thomas mentions this like 3 times in the same chapter. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. I forgot to ask Kamisato what my best friend is. That, you know, yeah, you remember that retaliation where it's like we thought Tsukimikado was gonna freaking die and all this stuff, and it was like this big character build up for like him and Toma, and kind of to, you know, say about their friendship and all that. And it's like in this volume we get, oh yeah, I forgot to ask, or Tsukimikado is. It's like, I get Toma may think he can handle himself, which he probably can, and honestly, you know, he could be anywhere. He could be fine, you know. I mean, he could be doing something, I don't know, but maybe personally, I thought he was just tied up in his room, but apparently not, I guess. But still, I mean, he's doing fine. I bet he's doing fine. I mean, the guy's a freaking cool guy. He's pretty cool. I mean, I know a few characters. Tsuchimikado's probably in the middle when I think of him. And it's just like, you know, it's just kind of weird seeing Toma just, oh yeah, I forgot to ask Kamisato where my best friend is. Yeah. And then we get into this weird thing where, you know, Ayogami's kind of, you know, they're talking about women running, and I think we know where that goes. And I've seen High School DxD, and it just kind of goes into a different thing where Toma and Othanius are kind of talking about Kamisato's sanity, I guess, in a way, where it's just kind of saying, you know, how is he different from how I used to be? To his, you know, expression and his face, he's treating like all this like a game, and Toma's kind of having a hard time sort of grasping what she's really saying, because it's like he helped the Bardway sisters. Birdway, I don't know, someone told me, but Toma just has a problem grasping this, you know. It's not really in his nature to really think about this stuff, you know. If you help someone, you help someone. If you beat up someone, you beat up someone. That's basically what he thinks. You know, it's not a very smart way of thinking, but you know, whatever. I mean, you know, it works, I guess, for him. And it kind of gets in this whole thing of, you know, how is he different from him, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Stuff we've already heard last time, pretty much. And you know, he's just comparing him to her a lot, saying, you know, how his method's different from how I did it when I was in control of Gremlin, and all this stuff, and, you know, comparing diamonds to finally finished diamonds, or whatever. Yeah, I'm not that good when it comes to this kind of compare contrast. Kenichi does this a lot, so forgive me if I'm kind of... but then Fukiyose kind of comes by, ruining the whole moment, and again, she thinks Othanius is a doll, and it really just kind of makes me mad. But, you know, it's kind of... I don't know, it just aggravates me. Like, how can someone be this stupid? I mean, Aogami, I bet he's just hiding a bunch of stuff. That's why he's kind of acting like this. But it's just kind of, I don't know. And then she kind of asks if he knew Kamisato, and he's just kind of like, whatever, I don't really like him. And then we get into the whole part 4 of this volume, where it's just basically just a big trash ecosystem. We recycle whatever. I don't care. The whole part was just recycle. Recycle, Toma, Captain Planet. And all this crap. I didn't like it. I thought it was a waste of a part. You know, there's probably more going on. I could probably go into what it did, but I really don't want to, so I'm going to skip it, because it was basically just nothing but just, oh, it's trash. Trash. Ecosystem, not really, but, you know, whatever. But then they kind of get done later on, and then Toma kind of pushes her back into his scarf, in which they all kind of... Because Kamisato was going with Jumpy Bunny and the good glasses guy, because he was going to go buy a lot of food, but then he didn't because he saw them. And then they kind of go to, like, don't really go, I guess they're walking, and they kind of run into this big little, what are those crane games where you, you know, get that stuffed animal. You don't really see those around anymore. But kind of good thing to where it's like Toma and Kamisato are kind of talking, to where it's kind of this cool little thing where he was saying how, you know, his arm can't regenerate like Toma's can, you know, has a whole bunch of bandages because he was thinking it because, you know, his fight with Milken. Still wondering, like, how that fight went down. Like, I'm guessing that his, like, faction kind of came in and kind of, you know, kicked the dog's butt. But, you know, I mean, I still like something on that. And, you know, it's kind of saying how... I'm trying to think how to phrase this. I'm sorry. I just need to look at something to kind of get my head around what... Oh, man. I'm sorry for this quiet freaking video. Okay, so he's basically comparing his, you know, each other's powers. Like, you know, there's a reason why Toma doesn't have... Well, because it won't suit him at all. Well, I mean, Kamisato, I guess the power wouldn't affect him either. They both kind of have different ideals, which I guess is why they have different powers. They kind of compare, like, how Kamisato's power is kind of in his own way saving people, just giving them a push forward to, you know, go to their own world, I guess, in a sense. We don't know what this world is, so we can't really say that. And then he just kind of is basically saying, you know, oh, Alan, Claire, and Elsa, they were once, you know, just girls, and then I got this, and they went goo goo gaga over me, basically. And it's just, it's a lot of conflicting desires going on, you know. I mean, it's just, he's you know, he just doesn't like Toma because of the way he's acting around all this. It's fine, and, you know, he's just dark and gloom and all this. Honestly, I mean, Kamisato as a character, you know, he's fair. He's a good comparison, I guess, to Toma's, I don't know how to say it, his way of doing things in a sense. But it's just, you know, I mean, he isn't terrible, honestly. I mean, it's just, I'm not getting through an interview. Yeah, I'm still gonna get, Kamisato sucks. Kamisato should die in a fire of death. Kamisato needs to go kill himself, all this stuff. Man, you guys are just... okay. But yeah, they ended up getting, like, this weird sexual doll or something out of the thing. I don't care. A lot of I don't care stuff in this. Like, I just read it, and I'm just like, okay. It's like the exposition, like, not exposition, but it's like the good, like, canon we're getting. You know, a lot of filler, you know, sentences in this, I guess, but... yeah, but that's pretty much the end of part 1 for now. Can't really talk about the rest because it's probably... but, you know, it's... whatever. I haven't been in this in a while, so excuse me if I forgot anything. But, yeah, I enjoyed the first half. A lot of just stuff that isn't happening in this part. But, I don't know. I just felt it was kind of weird. Like, when I've been reading this when it, you know, came out, like, piece by piece, and it's just, I reached certain parts where I was like, oh, come on, I don't want to read this stuff, I just want to get to the good parts. It's like, it's just, I don't want to read how I need to recycle, and why Jumpy Bunny wants a freaking stuffed animal that's made by Mexicans in, like, a factory. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. Made by child errors and, like, a scientific... something, I don't know, but it's just, but yeah, I like the whole Toma Kamisato comparison thing going on here, you know, kind of balancing of what their ideals are, how their powers kind of match their own ideals, and all this stuff. I got to see Toma's, ideals kind of challenged upon by Kamisato and all this stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed it, you know, the whole thing with Hamazura was kind of weird. You know, I mean, it's just kind of saying, spouting the same stuff that was said, like, 20 volumes ago. But, yeah, I enjoyed it regardless, so I'll see you guys on part 2. Catch you later.